These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos.
I just wanna go home. I just wanna be home.
Mase, say names.
Yeah, security crying behind the car.
Damn.
People look at me as being bad boy security.
Yeah, this blanket. You're like, what?
Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the. Gene Deal was this, that, and the third.
But he there for security.
What you think I'm gonna be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? I bet you really don't wanna know.
The tension around Gene Deal, Mase, and Cameron just jumped into a whole new zone, and the streets can't stop talking about it. What started as a simple viral joke spiraled into a full-blown showdown, all tied to one of the darkest nights in hip-hop history, the night the Notorious B.I.G was taken down. Mase and Cameron were online cracking jokes, breaking down the footage, and clowning Gene for not firing back during the attack, turning the moment into comedy like only they can. But the laughter didn't last long because Gene Deal did not find it funny at all. He came back swinging, calling out Mase directly and making it clear that he wasn't the one to play with.
If you want to say something, Mase, tell us why you didn't go. Mase, why you didn't go to the party? Mase, why you didn't go to the party?
Party? Because I was in a hotel with Brandy.
Why you didn't go? Brandy told you, you told me that Brandy told you, let's go to the party. Why you didn't go to the party?
I didn't go to the party because all y'all seem like snakes. And I'm not going to be no
So Mase, who told you? Mase, didn't I tell you? Listen to him, Mase. Did I tell? Let's keep it 100. When you was riding around,
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. You guys was the security. If somebody shot the biggest rapper in the world, why y'all didn't shoot back? Y'all had guns?
Mase, let me ask you something. I'm gonna get to that. Mase, one question. When you was riding around Cali with Stevie J, didn't I pull you to the side and say, what the fuck is you doing in a drop top Benz riding around with Stevie J around Cali? Did I say that to you? Did I say that to you, Mase? That's some.
Suddenly, the energy shifted from jokes to tension, and the whole culture started paying attention because when these names collide, it's never something small. This situation hit deeper than just a joke. It dug into old wounds, street responsibility, and the weight of what really went down that night.
I was actually in a hotel with a young lady.
And when you heard this information, what was your next actions?
My next actions? After what?
When you heard Biggie died, did you stay in your hotel room? Did you leave out? Did you want to go back to New York?
I actually was trapped in a hotel.
Now I want to ask a question. What do you mean trapped?
It was about probably like 70 or so bloods in the hallway. I couldn't even leave my room.
How'd you get out?
One of the guys.
Why would it be 70 bloods in your hallway after Biggie Smalls died?
Actually, after Big got killed, they was probably looking for more bad boy artists. And I couldn't even leave the room till Gene Deal, the officer had to come get me.
When Mase and Cameron roasted Gene, they did it with that classic Harlem flair that gets the internet going wild, and the clip blew up instantly. They joked about the chaos of the night, analyzing Gene's every move like they were breaking down a basketball play, and viewers were in tears from the laughter. But behind the jokes was a real question that's haunted hip-hop for years. What exactly could anyone have done in that moment when shots were flying and everything was out of control?
Now the content creators who went out there and they start running off by their mouth, trying to make airways and trying to make a show. Here go a grown-ass man, Mase and Cameron, made suggestions to bad boy security. These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos. When you do stuff like that, you gotta know right now that people look at me as being bad boy security. You gotta be clear. As soon as that drop, you got 5 or 6 out there. Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third.
And the next part of his message was deeply disturbing.
You already know, Mase. When you doing all that stuff to Gene Deal, what do Gene Deal supposed to be doing while you doing all that? I bet you really don't want to know. What you think I'm gonna be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? They can play if they want to, but if they know what I know, they better find somebody else to play with. I never had to tell Big them Keep it a buck. I never had to tell Big them I told Big to his face, if you go to this party tonight, one of y'all gonna die. Some people gonna die if you go to this party tonight.
Gene Deal wasn't about to let them rewrite history on his name, though. He clapped back with a sharp warning, telling Mase to step correct if he had something real to say. That message wasn't just a comeback. It was a reminder of how heavy that night was, how dangerous the world around Biggie had become, and how split-second decisions could mean life or death. Suddenly, the funny moment turned into a serious debate about loyalty, pressure, and the truth behind the chaos.
He was trying to divert that whole conversation and make it seem like, so, Gene, why you didn't shoot? Listen to me. It wasn't because Big wasn't my principal. And he knew the fact that we had blew the light and we was halfway down the block, crossed the light, and then when the first shot went off, our driver took straight off. I'm screaming at our driver because he was told that somebody was pointing a gun at Big and them. He should have just threw the car in reverse. He knew the whole story, my man, because me and him had a conversation on the phone. He the one told me, well, I was in the room with Brandy and Brandy was trying to get me out the room to come to the party. So I felt that was kind of weird. So she said Brandy was calling me trying to get me out the room to come to the party. Well, you was in the room with Brandy. How's she calling you to try to get you out the room to come to the party? You know what I'm saying? This was going through my mind. But Mase knew the whole situation. Mase knew that it's no way possible that I was able, being sideways in the car, because Puff, when I got in the car, Puff had put his seat back. Now I'm sideways in the car like this, and I'm cussing him out like, yo, man, what the f is you doing? Why you got your seat back like this? We hear the shot, pow! Puff put his head down. I go to open the door. Kenny flies, going straight. So he knew the whole story. What I supposed to do? Put my gun out the window and just start shooting like this? When the car had already turned the corner, it came out of parking space. So he knew the story, bruh. He was trying to just divert the attention of, well, why security? So ask security, ask Big security, ask Paul, ask the LAPD. The LAPD officer that was right there, they was right behind. Paul was outside the car. Why didn't they shoot? Why when we turn back around and come down the street, that they way down the block, they coming back when we get back to the car. When we get back to the car, nobody's in Big's car. But Big, Mase knew this. Me and Mase had this conversation. Him and Tone is like this. He knew me and Tone jumped in the car and chased after the guy. We couldn't catch him. He wanted to divert the attention from himself because why didn't you tell Big that these dudes was trying to get at you, bruh? You had that conversation with with Puff, but you ain't had that conversation with Big. Big was your label mate. So people come on to him, why you ain't shoot? Listen to me, bro. At that time, I was young, dumb, and full of cum. Anybody who really knows me know that they ain't gotta worry about nothing if it comes to the point where gunplay has to be a part of my security. I'm not gonna hesitate, because I never bodyguard anybody that I wasn't willing to lay down my life for.
Gene's response brought the conversation into a whole new lane because he's one of the few people who actually lived through that night up close, and he carries the weight of it every day. When he told Mase to be a man if he wanted to talk tough, it hit the internet like a shockwave because that wasn't just entertainment. That was raw emotion from someone who watched one of the biggest legends in the world fall right in front of him. The streets started chiming in, saying the jokes crossed the line, while others felt Mase and Cameron were just doing what entertainers do. But the deeper issue wasn't the roast. It was the old pain resurfacing. Every time the topic comes up, it drags the culture back into one of the most tragic losses ever, and people still argue about who should have done what. Gene made it clear he wasn't ducking smoke, but he also wasn't letting anyone play with his name when it came to such a serious moment.
This can't tell me nothing.
And the second top artist in the world, which is Mase, about to be number one. That's what I'm saying. I wonder his face because I'm like, if y'all let do that to Big, I don't stand it.
What really made things explode was how quickly the conversation spread across podcasts, live streams, and social media, with everybody picking a side like it was a heavyweight fight. Some said Mase and Cam were just keeping it playful, while others said Gene had every right to snap because that night wasn't a joke to him. And through all the noise, one thing became clear. This situation exposed how deep the scars from the 90s still run. The night Biggie was taken down is still a wound for the entire culture, and anytime someone touches that topic, emotions spike instantly.
Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral out here.
Mase and Cameron are legends in their own right, and Gene Deal is one of the last voices from inside Bad Boy's inner circle. So when all three collide, it becomes a cultural earthquake. This wasn't just content. This was a clash of eras, memories, pride, and reputations, and it shook the whole timeline. Now the conversation has reached a point where everyone's waiting to see what happens next, because this tension could blow over, or it could spark a whole new wave of back and forth that bring even more receipts, more stories, and more shocking claims. The hip-hop world loves a good debate, but when legendary names start calling each other out over one of the biggest tragedies in music history, the stakes feel way higher than usual. Gene Deal is standing firm on his truth, while Mase and Cam continue to lean into their humor, keeping the spotlight hot. And as the story keeps evolving, the streets are watching every move, every reaction, every word like it's a new episode in a never-ending saga. One thing's for sure, this situation ain't cooling down anytime soon. If you want more breakdowns, deep dives, and real talk on everything exploding in the culture right now, make sure to like and subscribe for the next drop.